we've always told stories. Stories that both reflect and create our reality. And stories go back to our earliest ancestors. They go back to the times when we used to live in physical communities. So there's one situation I remember. Hey everyone, there's a saber-toothed tiger prowling outside the cave. Run inside quickly. And what was the purpose of this story? It was to serve the needs of the tribe. So it was to share knowledge, understanding, and protect. A little later on, there came another situation in the tribe, and Dave comes walking into the cave, and he's like, "Oh, where's my barbecue ribs?" Simon took them. And so this story had a slightly different purpose. The intention was different. The intention and purpose was self-protection rather than serving the collective needs, the needs of the whole. And then this tribe meets another tribe. And we know what happens when two tribes meet each other. There's a sharing of culture, of language, of friendships, and there's also the other things we know about, the battles, the wars. And perhaps one of the most enduring and significant things that happened when two tribes met each other was trade. And we traded things of equal value. And so Dave swapped something with Peter, and then one day we created money. And this was an efficient way to now trade between two tribes, because obviously it was getting a bit more complex as we get bigger. And then one day Dave was doing a trade with Peter, and Peter thought, "I'm never going to see Dave again, actually." And he sold Dave some ribs, but they were past their best before date. So this time there was exploitation, is perhaps how you refer to it. So again, trade was used to serve self-interest rather than thinking of the collective whole. So these are two massive, powerful things: communications and trade. And you can see how they can be used either to screw people and the world over, or they can be used as something good. And this goes back to the purpose or the intention behind it. Do you intend to use trade for good? And do you intend to use stories for good as well? Communications, the roots of communications are in the word commune, to share something in common, to develop an intimate connection. And storytelling, the roots of storytelling are giving someone a new perspective on something, or again, to deepen understanding. So it was, I started to reflect on how can we use media and publishing and stories for the collective purpose, rather than self-interest. And this is when I started Ideal Media, and then later on I started Transformational Media Initiative. And this is a global initiative of people working in media, publishing, storytelling, musicians, writers, thinking how they can go back to the roots and the purpose of communications and storytelling, which is serving a higher good and helping us realise our highest potential, which I think you're doing. You want people to be happy. It's about how can we achieve our highest potential by reading your books on an individual level, but also on a collective level. So really what I want to do is encourage people to do this and to connect people, publishers, editors, and journalists like this. So at the moment we have 4 different initiatives. One is about constructive journalism, so how can be used for this. One is about empowering girls. One is measuring the impact of media, so how do we actually know the impact that stories have on us. And the other one is a biannual event which brings everyone together to share. And I started to think, how do I know when you're getting this result? How do you know when your media is achieving, helping people on the journey to the highest potential? What are the foundations for that? So I started to think deeply on this. And I thought it should have 4 qualities. One is compassion. So you need to have compassion for your fellow human being, which you obviously have. One is some insight. If you're not giving someone some insight or new perspective, then probably you're not worth listening to. You need some wisdom, you need some clarity. And if you're producing media from that space, from those foundations, it's automatically going to be meaningful, inspiring, engaging, and creative. So, I guess my question for everyone today is, okay, some of us are working in publishing and media, so it's, okay, how can I use my work in writing to serve the collective needs of people, to make people's lives better? How can I base it on those things? And really, if you're doing that, you're also making yourself a better writer. It's a personal journey for yourself. If you're thinking, how can I inspire others? You have to also, become that more inspiring person, because otherwise you can't share those kind of stories. Einstein said that one of the most important decisions you ever make is whether you believe you live in a hostile universe or a friendly universe. So, what do you think, people in this room, do you think we live in a hostile universe or a friendly universe?
Friendly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right either way. I mean, today you're saying friendly, we're in a very friendly environment here. I don't think anyone's going to start
to begin with.
Yeah, that's very awesome. Yeah. No, I don't think anyone's going to start a pub or here, maybe. And that's thanks to the creators. They've created a friendly environment. So actually, you create your own reality by how you perceive it. If they thought, we were going to come here to fight, they could have created that environment as well. And so the point is, you start off with your imagination of how something's going to be, your story. There was a story of how tonight was going to run. And that was created in someone's mind. And the stories you tell and the media has a massive influence on how we think. So if you're going to start thinking, I need to change my thoughts, which is then going to change my behaviour, look at the stories we're surrounded by, look at the stories, and if our media is telling us we're the good guys and those are the bad guys, Einstein would say, well, you're trying to create a hostile universe. So look at the media, and if you're not producing, you're consumers, so think, how can I consume more mindfully? I can look at that media, and what is the intention behind it? What is the purpose? And you can start to think more selectively about how you consume. So I guess my question to you is, in the stories you're creating, think about what is the purpose of the stories I'm creating, and do they serve me becoming my highest potential, who I can be, and collectively us becoming our highest potential.